What's up, y'all? This is Will Fry, and I'm here with the Goddamn Pac-Man on a beautiful day in February. We're at the Church of Scientology in Los Gatos, and the reason I asked Pac-Man to join me here was to talk about some things that I've been thinking about a lot recently. Some things that are much harder for me to talk about than the last time you saw me speak about my life experiences in Scientology. And so please bear with me, okay? I haven't scripted anything. I'm just going to talk it out. And thanks again to Goddamn Pac-Man for all the support. And thank you all for your wonderful support and feedback. All my friends on SureDog, everyone on Why We Protest, and the Ex-Scientologist Messenger Board, and everywhere else, and everyone else. I love you all. And if what I have to say on this video takes away some of that, then so be it, and I understand, because it's going to be, the subject matter is going to be a little rough. You know, it's clear to most people that have heard my story, read my story, that I was abused, at the very least mentally, with Scientology. You know, started with my parents, all the way to my school, and then eventually as a Sea Org member. And it comes from that L. Ron Hubbard child Dianetics philosophy. That's a big part of it. And the gist of it is that a child is not actually a child at all. It's just a being or a spirit or a thetan that has been around for billions of years, and it's just occupying a smaller body than the rest of, you know, the adults that are around the child. So a child doesn't need to be treated like a child needs to be treated like an adult and given the same responsibilities as an adult. And it's madness, and that's well understood by Anonymous and people that know about the Church of Scientology, especially with regard to their philosophy on kids. But rather than just sit here and point the finger at others and say I was abused and I need hugs or whatever, because I'm not looking for hugs. You know, I'm in therapy, I'll work it out there. But I want to talk about how the abusee becomes the abuser. And that certainly happened for me, with me. Right after I left the Sea Org, I was really messed up. I was 20 years old, and I just was on the decks, receiving all the interrogations and the security checks and all that crazy manual labor, 6 months straight, and they got me real good. They broke me in a couple ways, not so hard that I stayed, but hard enough that I really didn't know where I was at, you know. And all I really wanted to do was escape. That was my thing for that next solid year. I mean, I was 20, but right away I got a fake ID, and I was out at the bars and the clubs and drinking and just trying to party. And you know, every girl that would give me the time of day, I would totally try to hook up with. And that was a big part of me trying to escape. I mean, in that year, year and change, I was probably with 10 different girls. And not that I wanted to be with a bunch of different girls, but once one of them got to know me, they weren't really interested in that anymore because I was a screwed up ex-Scientologist, ex-Sea Org member. I was still a Scientologist, but I mean, I was an ex-Sea Org member. And I know we all like to have a laugh about the, what are your crimes, what are your crimes, what are your crimes, but that is very real. And to this day, this is beaten into my brain. This is in my head, and I have to try to stay aware of it so I don't give that to people. I mean, I would like to take this opportunity to publicly apologize to any woman who has ever dated me, ever. Because that's what they got from me. They got this, especially after the Sea Org. They got this, what are your crimes, what are your crimes, treatment from me. And even now, you know, I just got out of a big relationship, and that was the gist of I was mentally abusing her with this sort of behavior, right? I mean, in that 2-year period of time I was in the Sea Org, you know the book Introduction to Scientology Ethics? I was ordered to read that roughly about 10 times in just those 2.5 years I was there, especially when I was trying to leave the Sea Org. And I mean, I had to read it. It's called like the M9. You read it a aloud in front of another person, and if they hear you stutter or stumble across a word, they'll make you look up the words in the dictionary that they think you don't understand. And so, I mean, I thoroughly read this, but they could easily call that book an introduction to madness, because that's what it is, and an insane way of thinking. So getting back to my point is, no one really wanted to be my girlfriend, you know, but I hooked up with probably about 10 girls in that first year, and 18. A couple of them were 17, one was 16, and one was actually 15 years old. And one that was 15 years old I actually considered my girlfriend for about a month, but not a serious like live-in relationship or anything like that. She was herself an ex-Sea Org member, and someone that I had worked not directly with, but around in the Sea Org. Let me back up a little bit here. When I first got out, one of the first women that were kind enough to ease my pain, if you will, you know, she was actually just a year younger than I was. She was 19, I was 20, and I really was into her, but she didn't want to be my girlfriend for obvious reasons. But I stayed friends with her and friends with her family, and her younger sister was the 15-year-old girl that I wound up getting together with and actually having a short relationship with. And it's not like it was something I was hiding. I wasn't like, oh, don't tell anybody I have a 15-year-old girlfriend. It was, yeah, this is my girlfriend. And the Scientologists in my life, many of them were supportive because at least she was a Scientologist. And that was okay. And people that I knew did the same thing. They did girls that were under 18 because they were Scientologists. And when you are a Scientologist child, your identity is stripped from you. You'll see this many times. There's so many examples. Your identity is stripped from you and then replaced with the TRs and the tone scale and the calm cycle and the L. Ron Hubbard identity, the Scientologist identity that you will see with so many of them, which is why they seem like the Borg, why they seem like the hive mind mentality all the time. That starts in childhood. So this girl didn't seem like a 15-year-old at all. She seemed like my age. She seemed like a woman my age, and she seemed exactly like I did, and exactly like the other Scientologist women that I knew. It was very L. Ron Hubbard, very child dynamics. I'm sure you guys can find many examples of this and people talking about it. But, you know, I remained friends with her family. I was actually upset with myself. I was mad at myself for hurting her older sister's feelings, because that's kind of a messed up thing to do. It's actually a really messed up thing to do. Date a girl and then date her younger sister. It's not cool. And I felt really bad, and I was really beaten up over that, you know, that I did that, and I felt like a complete asshole. I mean, I was really messed up, and I made up with her older sister, and I was still friends with her family, but you know, I understand now. I understand that that was wrong, and I haven't, since that year, I haven't been with any women that are, you know, under the age of 18 at all. Hi, pardon us, ladies. This isn't like a problem. I don't consider myself to be a pedophile, and I don't think any person in my life would believe that at all. But what I did in that year, that was wrong. That was it's not okay. And I want to say that I am fully willing to go to jail if a jury of my peers determines that I am guilty of something like statutory rape, or for my crimes, my fraud, with my cooperation with, my involvement with the criminal organization known as Bridge Publications Incorporated, the Sea Organization. You know, I'm fully willing to pay my debt to society if a jury of my peers believes that to be the case. And that's why I wanted to actually come out here and talk to you all, and I wanted you to see me. I didn't want you guys to just read it, because this is serious. And